Now, all the latest with the ITV Evening News.
Killed amid the New Year countdown, a teenager is stabbed to death in the London crowds. Harry Pittman died while waiting for the fireworks on Primrose Hill. Tonight, police are appealing for information.
We've launched a murder investigation following the fatal stabbing of a 16-year-old boy at around 11:40 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
Also tonight, New Year alarm in Japan. Thousands flee for higher ground as a huge earthquake triggers a tsunami warning. And
double four for a semi-final spot. There is no sign of this teenage dream coming to an end.
On target for the title, the English teenager one step closer to becoming world darts champion.
This is ITV News with Paul Brand.
Good evening. Any hopes he may have had for the new year were taken just before midnight. 16-year-old Harry Pittman was waiting to watch the London fireworks when he was stabbed amid the crowds on Primrose Hill. People watched in horror as emergency services pushed past to try in vain to save the schoolboy's life. Tonight, police have arrested a teenager on suspicion of murder as they appeal for information. Our reporter Amy Lewis is at the scene for us, where details are still emerging this evening. And Amy, what more do we know about what happened last night?
Well, Primrose Hill is a very popular place for people to come on New Year's Eve to see the fireworks here and across London, and that is exactly what 16-year-old Harry Pittman was doing here last night. He was with a group of friends, police say, watching the fireworks on a viewing platform here. Now, they say that around about 20 to midnight, when it would have been incredibly crowded, they believe that he got involved in an altercation. Now, they say he was stabbed. He received first aid here, and despite receiving help from the emergency services, sadly, he was pronounced dead shortly before midnight. Now, at the scene, was arrested last night, a 16-year-old boy. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. He remains in custody. Now, police say it would have been incredibly busy here last night and crowded as it normally would be on a New Year's Eve. And they say they believe that there are people who witnessed something who still haven't come forward and spoken to officers.
My colleagues have informed the family of the boy, who is from the Haringey area, and they will be provided with our support in the days and months ahead. My thoughts are with them. We're all working at pace to establish what happened. Although there has been an arrest, we do need information from the community, and we need to hear from anybody that saw anything that may be significant.
Well, there is a big police presence here still this evening around Primrose Hill. The area has been cordoned off. Forensic teams have been here throughout the day searching, and we've seen them passing by. This evening, police are saying that they want anybody with any dash cam footage or any phone footage who was here last night to come forward, because one family is starting the new year without this 16-year-old boy.
OK, Amy Lewis from Primrose Hill, thank you. Japan has been rocked by a series of earthquakes on the first day of the new year. The largest measured 7.6 in magnitude, collapsing buildings and tearing up roads. A major tsunami warning was also issued, the first since the disaster of 2011. At least 2 people have died, but that number is thought likely to rise. Neil Connery reports.
The calm of the New Year's Day on Japan's west coast was shattered when the 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck. The terrifying force shaking buildings, reducing some in Ishikawa region to dust. Some took cover under desks in this Toyama newsroom as a cameraman kept on filming. People ran for their lives in shops. Others frozen by fear. More than 60 smaller earthquakes have followed in the hours since.
It just didn't feel normal. It didn't feel like the normal, you got an earthquake for, tremors for a couple of minutes. This felt more significant than that. And it felt a lot more dangerous.
A major tsunami alert, the first since the devastating 2011 earthquake, was issued, but later downgraded. The fear of some tourists caught up in the quakes. Holy captured on camera.
This is huge.
As night fell, some of the fires which broke out spread. This was Wajima City, where power supplies were cut. More than 100,000 people have been evacuated out of the worst affected areas. As Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida responded to the crisis, he said rescue teams are doing everything possible to save lives. Japanese TV continues to warn viewers of the risks from aftershocks and other dangers. A New Year's Day when Japanese families traditionally gather together to celebrate has for some been a traumatic ordeal. Neil Connery, ITV News.
An FBI manhunt for an American mother accused of murdering 2 of her children has ended in the UK. Kimberly Singler appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court today after being arrested in West London on Saturday. She disappeared from her home in Colorado just before Christmas, 4 days after her 9-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son were both found dead, alongside their 11-year-old sister, who was injured. A serving police officer has been charged with sexual assault on a child. 34-year-old PC Dean Dempster has been suspended by Greater Manchester Police. And the number of migrants crossing the Channel in small boats has fallen for the first time. There were nearly 30,000 crossings in 2023, down by a third from the record high of 2022. And finally this evening, the darts prodigy Luke Littler has continued his relentless march towards the World Championship. The 16-year-old dominated the early going in the quarterfinals today at Alexandra Palace, and despite faltering later on, he became the youngest player ever to reach the semi-finals. Vincent McAviney reports.
Warrington's Luke Littler took to the stage at Ali Pali to face Northern Ireland's Brendan Dolan in the quarter-finals as the youngest ever challenger. Just 16 years old, he's gone from unknown to household name in just a fortnight.
Here he goes. Luke Littler's first match of this quarter-final.
This afternoon, he stormed through 4 straight sets to the delight of the crowd.
Luke Littler is strolling through this quarter-final,
conceding only his 4th set of the tournament to Dolan before winning a 5th set to secure his path to the semi-finals.
There is no sign of this teenage dream coming to an end.
Littler hit 5 180s, had 3 100-plus finishes and averaged just under 102, the 3rd time he has averaged 100 or more in the tournament. Too young for a pint, he celebrated like a typical teenager, taking selfies with the crowd.
Now I am dreaming. I'm 2 games away. So, yeah, I'm definitely thinking about lifting the title.
Littler will now face Rob Cross, himself a debut champion in 2018, in the semi-finals on Tuesday night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Littler!
If he goes all the way to the finals on Wednesday, Littler could celebrate his 17th birthday on the 21st of January as the world champion. But he'll still have to celebrate with his traditional fast food, rather than a pint with the other players. Vincent McAviney, ITV News.
That's all for now. We're back at 10 with all the latest. Until then, have a great evening and a Happy New Year.
It's a cold and wet outlook, with some heavy downpours throughout the day. Heinz Big Soup sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello to you again. A very happy new year. For many of us, it's windy.